I have no soul. Have a nice day.
I don't have one either.
I know I shouldn't, but these muffins are delicious.
And we'll share our favorite recipes later in the hour, but first our guest says, don't give in to road rage. Stay calm behind the wheel and coolly plot your road revenge. Danny Preston is a defensive driving instructor who teaches people how to control their temper behind the wheel. Welcome, Danny.
Well, thanks for having me.
Danny, we've all been there. There's nothing I hate more than getting cut off.
That drives me nuts. I want to scream out my window.
But ultimately, getting into an argument with a stranger isn't going to accomplish anything but stress you out.
Well, how should you respond instead?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, count to 10, then follow the other driver home.
Well, you don't want to get into a fight on the highway.
Right. Once you know where he lives, you could sneak into his house every couple weeks, rearrange a bunch of things. Something that says, you're out there and you're unpredictable.
Sounds like that's safer than losing your temper.
Anger's just one letter away from danger.
Ooh.
I like that.
You want to stay zen, keep your mind clear, and put a plan in place that will ruin the other driver's chance at a happy future.
Now, you also talk a lot about empathy, putting yourself in the other driver's shoes.
Exactly, Jim. Just last week, I was waiting for a stoplight to change when some angry driver behind me was leaning on the horn.
I hate that.
But then I remembered, he's human, just like me. He has a family that loves him, and that's an exploitable weakness. I started sending him videotapes, hours-long videotapes filmed outside his parents' home. Now, he's frantic and confused, but I always say you can't give angry drivers the satisfaction of knowing why their parents are being filmed, which is why I call him every night from a payphone and just recite a series of cryptic numbers that don't mean anything.
Calm, cool, collected. I love it.
Now, something a lot of people want to know, what if someone's getting angry about your driving?
You can't let it get to you. For example, in 1996, some guy gave me the middle finger after I cut him off. I recognized him from TV. That's when I decided to become a defensive driving instructor, developing the skills I needed to eventually be invited on his show as an expert. Now, once you're there, it's just a simple matter of switching out his muffins with the ones you made yourself. Those muffins were pretty good, weren't they, Jim? How many did you eat?
What? I don't know.
Thank you so much for sharing your tips, Danny.
Danny is not my true name.
Mr. President, is this where you wanted to meet? Is everything okay?
Elmo doesn't get it, Hank. Why isn't the world bowing down to Elmo? He's tried everything. But the fake news, it's too fake and it's too news. Elmo doesn't know. Maybe he just shouldn't be president anymore.
Well, maybe you're right.
What?
Maybe you should give up. You know, you don't have to be president. There's so many other fun things you could do, sir.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. I mean, what's President Elmo without president? Just Elmo, and that's, ugh, that sounds weird.
Look at me, sir. You could be doing anything else. Literally anything else. Look at me. You could be doing anything. Listen to the words I am saying.
You can stop your haters in a locker or become a pro golfer and then an evil ray that'll make a hand smaller. There's so many opportunities, I don't know why you're being so hesitant. Yeah, you can fly in the sky with your million bags of money and then maybe go to Mars where it's always nice and sunny. But whenever you do, stop being the freaking president. Oh yeah. Now give me a moment to level with you. I know you don't like to think, but everything about it just for a second, then you know that it's true. And you can go and do a bunch of white rich people things while the rest of us die without accomplishing your dreams. Now doesn't that just sound too good to be true? Well, guess what? It's not, because you're literally rich. You can do what you want. You can buy your own planet in your own font. So please just leave us alone. It's long overdue.
So, what did you think, sir? Huh? Did I get through to you?
Yeah. You know, this song really spoke to Elmo. And Elmo thinks that he just has to be ruler of the world.
Through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairie.
China, 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 China. Believe me, we need to build a wall. Build a wall. Build a wall. Believe me, we need to build a wall.
And nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensive. Some of the fake news said, I don't think Donald Trump wants to build the wall. Can you imagine if I said we're not going to build the wall? Fake news. Fake news.
As soon as Kyle Johnson heard about his school's policy of requiring students to take a foreign language to graduate, he knew it was un-American.
You know, I just basically thought Spanish sucked. What's the point? I'm American. I speak American.
Rather than go along with the policy, Kyle began boycotting his Spanish homework and leaving his tests blank. Kyle also lost one of his Spanish textbooks and bravely spilled a Mountain Dew all over another.
Do you see yourself following in the footsteps of great Americans like Thomas Paine or Paul Revere?
Yeah, totally. I've never heard of those guys, but I'm not going to do any Spanish shit, and no one's going to make me.
But like many other patriots throughout history, Kyle's views did not always make him popular. His classmates dismissed him as obnoxious and a moron. His teacher even punished him for his principled stand against Spanish.
How did you find the strength to keep going when people tried to silence your message?
You know, I don't really care what they think.
Rather than be forced to learn a foreign language on American soil, Kyle eventually stopped going to Spanish class entirely and courageously began spending that time in the convenience store parking lot down the street from his school, trying to convince homeless people to buy him cigarettes.
Kyle, everyone at the Onion News Network was so inspired by your patriotic fight that we actually created a petition against your Spanish teacher. Over 80,000 viewers signed it. Due to that extreme pressure, your school was forced to fire Senorita Miller today.
Really? That's awesome. She sucks.
Thank you, Kyle Johnson, for reminding us that it's not just our troops who are fighting every day for our freedom.